Right, good morning everyone. Sorry for the non-verbal start there. You joined me back in France, back in the south of France. You joined me for a little mini-series which I am calling The Peak, or Climbing the Peak, or Chasing the Peak, or I don't know, I think I'm just going to call it The Peak. The Peak Episode 1. As mentioned last week on my Instagram, I'm looking to document every single day of the peaking process. I feel like it's something that not that many people do. I know a lot of people with a lot more skin in the game do. But as always, I feel like the unique element to my YouTube channel, the unique element to me as a content creator within the bodybuilding and fitness space right now is that I am a first-time competitor, and I feel like it's unbelievably valuable for me to document these phases of my journey, so that if anyone out there is actually looking to compete or thinking about competing or whatever, or even in the process of competing, you have someone who is speaking your language and is actually giving you a first-timer's perspective, someone who still hasn't decided, if they're going to commit to the sport long term, someone who is taking things a day at a time still. As mentioned just at the start there, we're back in France, believe it or not. This was always the plan, so we're 11 days out from show number 1. Can I turn that off? There we go. Oh. Yeah, 11 days out from show number 1. I told Zach, nearly 2 years ago now, when we first started making plans to compete in 2025, that I was always going to have a few key events that I wasn't willing to budge on. And there's 3 weddings basically. 2 from my close friends, which have already been and gone, fantastic days, brilliant memories, loved every second of them. And this final wedding, which is for one of Izzy's incredibly close friends, a childhood friend that she's known as long as she's been alive. So it's an incredibly important event that I show up to and show out for. And that's why we're in France. We got here yesterday. You'll have seen from the little travel montage. So we got here yesterday very late. We're in a very rural part of France once again, even more rural than the last trip, which I wasn't sure was going to be possible, but here we are really out in the sticks. The house is gorgeous. I've not had a good chance to properly tour it because we got here at about 20 past 11 last night and I was absolutely shattered. I ended up doing more steps than usual just because of travel and I guess carrying bags around and things like that. It's always going to add a little element of fatigue. And yeah, woke up this morning. We don't want to go down here, bloody hell. 1 second, people, sorry. As you can tell, it's pitch black and I'm in some country lanes. I was about to go into some farm probably and get shot. I woke up this morning, new prep low, big new prep low. I knew it was coming. I've brought scales with me and everything. I've really dove headfirst into the bodybuilder approach with this trip, just because it's so time sensitive, right? When I get back from France, I've got 5 days left of the peak, and myself and Zach, we discussed it, and just for me as a competitor, I know that to bring the best package possible, I need to have my circumstance here in France replicate what I've got back home as accurately as possible. So I've brought my salt scales, I've brought my food scales, I've brought my supplements, I've brought my body weight scales, so I'm using the same ones that I would be using back home. And I jumped on those this morning and I was 153, which is a significant drop. I mean, yesterday I weighed in at 154.4, so all I'll say, yeah, nice to see that number go down on the scales because it's been a while since we had a prep low, to be honest. I'd say the conditioning definitely reflects that and has been reflecting that for a while. Comes back to the point that I quite often make about not always just trusting the scale as your best indication for, you know, have you reached the look that you desire? And that goes for people who are competing, that goes for people who are just looking to get in shape as well. Always use the visuals as your main, I guess, measuring stick for how you want to run things, and use the scale as a tool to navigate those waters and kind of collaborate together with the look. But anyway, 153 on the dot. Pretty crazy, as I say. I think that's comfortably into the 69 kilo range. It might even be a little bit lower than that. It might even be 68-ish. But yeah, we're heading to the gym. We're going to be making a glorious return back to basic fit here in France. It's the same brand that we used last time we were here. We know the equipment's not the best. We know it's not the worst. It's very manageable, is what I will say. It's very acceptable. So this morning, the way that the day's going to kick off, I've got up nice and early, 6 a.m. Slightly later than usual for me, but I have moved things on an hour, obviously. So for me, it's pretty much, it's 5 a.m, so it's a normal wake-up time for me. I'm going to go and train. We've got a pool day on the cards. And then I'm going to do my supermarket shop, just to basically, as I say, come back to that point of getting everything set up as accurately as I possibly can have it. So it's basically like I'm back home. That's what we're looking to achieve with the setup, is how can we maximize routine? How can we maximize consistency? Because right now, in the next 10 days, we're basically trying to find the look for the stage. Minus the tan, minus being completely hairless and everything else. We're trying to find that look that is like, okay, yeah, we'd be comfortable getting up on stage and rocking out with this. And it's exciting, I won't lie. Like, as much as I feel ready physically, I feel ready, like, I'm really happy with the condition that we're bringing for the first show. I think that'll be relatively consistent across the 3 shows that I do. Maybe get a little bit tighter for the last one, a little bit sharper. But realistically, there's not that much of a window for any fat loss in between shows. So I'm confident, I'm really proud of the level of conditioning that I've got down to. I've had to dig. I was having a chat with someone yesterday in the gym, Hugh. Shout out, Hugh, if you're watching. About how, I've felt pretty blessed in the sense that I've not had a lot of cardio. My steps haven't got crazy high. My cardio only ever got up to 2 times 20 minutes per week, and my steps only ever got up to 12,000 a day. And that, in comparison to what I've seen other people doing, feels pretty simple, pretty easy. And we were just talking about it, and it's all relative, like, if you've been prepping, one, it's how your body responds to these things, and that's not really something that you have that much control over. You've got like a genetic disposition, a predisposition to it. So I've not had to do, 15, 16,000 steps a day or cardio at 45 minutes to an hour a day, because my body's just responded. But that doesn't mean it's not been hard. And I think a lot of people can get lost in that world of like, more is definitively more. And it just definitely is not. As I proved, earlier in my prep, where I moved house and the added expenditure just absolutely made me look like a piece of spaghetti. So that's something that's key within bodybuilding. And if you're going into your first competitive season, or you're looking to compete next year, trust in your coach and trust in the processes that you've been adhering to. For reference, like me, I've been working with Zach for 2 years, and in that entire time I describe what we've been doing as training my body, training my physique to be as responsive as possible to the methods that we've implemented. And I feel like that's why I've had a quote-unquote easy run in prep with things like cardio and steps, is because I've been training my body to be in that responsive state for the last 2 years. So yeah, all is well. I think we'll be sweet. The one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is obviously I've never competed before, so there's going to be stuff on the day that's a bit like alien to me, and there's going to be that kind of pressure. I'm someone who does perform quite well under pressure, I like to think. I'm not like particularly nervous about being on stage. The only part of the whole experience I'm actually a little bit nervous for is my routine, because I feel like I need to put a lot more time into perfecting it. It's done. I know it. Shout out to Matt Butcher. Helped me with my posing, helped me with my choreography for my routine, choreographed my entire routine. I know it. I get the timings pretty bang on, and yeah, I'm relatively comfortable with doing it, but there's just an element of showmanship that's missing, and I need to be kind to myself, because part of that is due to, you know, lack of experience. This is the first time I'm ever going to be competing, and although I've done a tremendous amount of work in terms of going through my mandatory poses just over the last 2 years as I've got more and more into bodybuilding, and they're now at a standard where, like, I feel like I would be pretty comfortable on stage. I've had posing coaches tell me that, multiple posing coaches, and people who've competed tell me that, you know, my posing is strong enough to go up on stage and not look shit. Basically, it will look relatively good. My main thing is transitions, and your routine. A huge part of your routine is quite simply just transitions as you flow in between poses, and I'd say that's where I'm lacking, is my flow. So hopefully we get some chances and some opportunities this week to maybe tweak that and fix that. But anyway, kind of run you through what the peaking process is going to look like. So from today, which is fantastic news by the way, from today we will be slowly but surely implementing a linear load, which is just an increase in calories, predominantly coming from carbs and then maybe some fats as well, across the next 10 days, looking for that ideal look where I've got enough glycogen back into my system, I'm full enough, but I'm not spilling over to the point where we're losing condition. Expenditure will come down to help sort of, the two things will meet in the middle. So I guess the calorie surplus, if you want to call it that, and the lower expenditure will meet in the middle, and we'll hopefully find the ideal look for this first show. Now, in order to do that, it means that I have to send Zach physique shots basically every day, which is another thing that I've not quite worked out where I'm going to do or how I'm going to do just yet, because we're staying in this big house, this big rural French home, with 5 other couples, I think, or 4 other couples. And I met some of them yesterday at the airport. I think a lot of them kind of know through word of mouth that, you know, Liam is this turbo bodybuilder bloke, which they're probably all going to be really surprised when they see this 68 kilo guy who looks a bit more like a bloody mountain climber than a bodybuilder. They'll be like, what is this guy think he's doing? But yeah, we're gonna have to basically, I think I'm gonna speak to them all today after I've done my session and after I've done the shop. I'm gonna speak to them all and just say, like, look, there's some weird shit that's gonna go on in this house. I am gonna be probably outside at some point every morning with a camera, taking pictures of myself in my pants, pulled right up into my arsehole. And I feel like that's the best way for me to kind of navigate that social situation with these people that I really don't know very well. And I'm sure they'll all be very accommodating. And likewise, you know, like they've done a bit of a shop. I think everyone's doing like a bit of a shop later on today, which I'll be taking people to go and do. Where they're all going to chip in and get, you know, booze and sausages and whatever else and barbecue bits, because we've got this big house and it's, you know, middle of nowhere, so stock up on what they need to have fun. And I'll be saying, guys, I don't need any of that. I'm going to get stuff on my list, which is why I've actually gone out to do my shop this morning, so it doesn't kind of interrupt with any plans. But that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, day 1 of the peak, baby. Let's get cracking with it. I'm going to love you and leave you guys. I think I might rejoin you in basic fit, because why not? These can be a bit of a longer format video, I think, is going to be the plan for this week. I want to try and show as much as possible without boring you guys, but giving you all the meat on the bone, so to speak, with the peaking process. So I'll catch up with you guys when we make it to the gym. Hopefully it's the same setup as before, where we can just kind of like do a day pass, or alternatively a week pass would be awesome. But yeah, I'll see you there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, isn't that a good friendly sight to behold? So, back at Basic Fit. Last experience here. I look a bit sweaty, don't I? Bloody hell. Not actually showered since like the travel day yesterday. It was pretty grim, but we're heading to the gym, so why not? Add to the stank. Yeah, this is a much smaller Basic Fit from what I can see from the last one that I came to, but it is closer. So it's about half an hour. Yeah, we're gonna head on in and see what's what. We've got pull on the cards. I'm probably gonna walk you guys and talk you guys through a full session. You're like, hey, this could be an hour-long vlog for day one of the peak. Yeah, we're gonna head on inside. Hopefully it's got the same setup as the other one. The last Basic Fit I came to, it was like there was just an automatic like touchscreen that you could just like basically set up what you're looking to do, like a day pass and whatever. So hopefully it's the same situation, and we'll be cracking on with our workout. If not, we'll have to work out what to do. But I'll see you in there, one way or another. I'll break in if I have to. Let's do it. One other thing that I suppose is worth mentioning quickly. This is the whip for the holiday. It's fine, you know. It's a Citroen. It's very like squat, isn't it? We actually had quite a lot of luggage, and getting it into the boot there was pretty tough. But yeah, it's a nice little boxy little SUV style thing. Bit of a mum car, but I can rock it. So we're in the gym. Not a great start, I won't lie. There's a guy here who works here. The last one I went to was unstaffed, which is probably better. But the guy who works here is like a full-on stickler for the rules, and there's obviously a communication barrier which never helps. But basically, like, you can't have a bag out on the gym floor. You have to have a towel, which I had to buy from the vending machine. So this has set me back €6.50 if it shows. Let's have a look. It's a lovely Basic Fit towel. So yeah, he's gonna love me in a minute when I start training and possibly shouting. But yeah, we're just gonna crack on with our session and do the best given the circumstances. We've bought a 3-day pass. Basic Fits are like pure gyms, so you can like go to another one if you need to. So that might be the case for future sessions. So yeah, as I was saying, I mean, one thing I will say, incredibly clean gym. So even if it is a case of you have to deal with a bit of a job's worth, he has a very tidy gym, so I'll give him that. We're going to definitely be able to do everything that we need to do today in terms of movements. Like, yeah, Basic Fit, they're better than pure gyms. Like, it's very similar in terms of setup, but just better, I would say. They've got a better colour scheme too, I'll give them that. But we're going to start off here with some barbell rows. I'm just going to do the same as I did last time I was in France and basically film mostly just top sets. Put that down there for now. And just take you guys kind of through a full workout. Anything that's worth talking about, we'll talk about, but chances are it'll mostly just be me grunting. So if you're into that, you're in luck. Not done barbell rows for a very long time, and I'm very preppy. But we're going to see how this moves and then determine what our top set will be. Come on. Cool. So although I know if I was to watch that back, I'd convince myself that like 120 or 130 would be a very sensible decision here. I'm actually going to go with 110, and that's quite simply because I know my own flaws as an athlete, and one of them on these sort of bent over movements is that as soon as I cross that threshold of it being a little bit too heavy, I will just hinge it. I mean, it doesn't look good, it doesn't feel good. So I'm going to go with a conservative 110 here. It's the whole reason why I've actually changed back home to the landmine rows, because it kind of mitigates that lower back getting involved. So we're going to go 110, try and keep it as clean as possible, still apply a decent amount of aggression and crack on. Okay. Cool. Could have been better, could have been worse. I feel like the first few reps on that felt really good. And then I started to feel that, as I say, that hinge starting to play a factor. Don't know what that was at the end, by the way. I kind of realized that I'm used to dropping the barbell. And if I drop the barbell, I probably get in a lot of trouble. So I kind of did like a miniature RDL at the end there. But yeah, we'll catch on the next exercise because I'll probably come down to like 100, maybe 90. Try and get a bit more volume in there, get the blood flow going. So moving on to a single arm lat pull down. Managed to somehow get some sort of plant. This guy's gonna hate me. I was just complimenting how clean his gym is, and now I'm picking off bits of plant from rural France that's stabbing me in the leg. Yeah, I've been sabotaged by nature here. Oh well, I don't think we're ever going to be the best of friends. But yeah, single arm lat pull down. Keeping things simple, just using the cable stack. Let's get into it. Okay. Possibly a little bit too heavy. We'll come down pretty aggressively on the next set, I think, but at least the effort's there, people. Let's go. I'm really hoping we don't run out of battery. I do actually have my charger here with me, so it's fine if we do. We might just have to sit in the gym at the end just for a little bit and charge up. If feel like I've cooled off a little bit. Because I'm all preppy and stuff, I was probably quite hot with that guy. Like I got my phone up and got Google Translate out and said to him, like, I've trained in other basic fits and I've never had to stick to these rules. And he was basically just like, they have cameras, they watch. I was like, come on, bro. Fucking CEO of Basic Fit is not watching you on a Thursday at 6 in the morning, like with this random British dude who's not obeying the rules. But so far so good. Another thing here, and I noticed this at the last Basic Fit I was in, I don't think they have a water fountain, which could be due to like water quality in France. Sorry if there's any French people watching and you find that offensive. I'm not sure. Maybe I just need to have another look around the gym. But in the last one I was at, they definitely did not have a watering station. So yeah, charge you for your towels, charge you for your fucking water. But we're on, the good thing, all the kit here is actually Matrix. So this might as well be like a brand new fucking, it looks like a Matrix showroom. And the last Basic Fit I was in was techno gym stuff. But I'm pretty happy so far. Like this chest supported, this is fine. We're then gonna move on to some low rows. And then it's like, you know, not that much left basically. We're just gonna crack on. I'm having a good session so far. Feel good, feel like activated, especially for like a new prep low. I was expecting this session to feel a lot harder than it does. I think it's change of environment. But yeah, we're gonna crack on. Cool. Oh, yeah. I think that for Saturday's leg session, tomorrow's a rest day. I think Saturday's leg session we will try the other Basic Fit. Hopefully it's a bit more chilled over there. I mean, this is fine. Like I'm getting a good session in, I will say. But like, and it could just be me being preppy. Like, tell me guys if I'm being a dick. But the guy just came up to me again and was like, can you make sure you're cleaning every machine after use? And now I say that out loud, it makes me sound like a right fucking arsehole, but like I'm not really even sweating. That's kind of always been my philosophy with gym kit, is like, yeah, if you're like leaving ass marks on stuff, then fair play. But if you're just like doing a general workout and you're not sweating like crazy, just kind of move on, but we'll play by the rules. See what he thinks when I strip down to my fucking knickers in a minute and start posing in the middle of the gym. I won't be doing that. I will not be doing that. But yeah, Saturday we'll try the other one. Yep. Cool. Okay. Right. Coming towards the end of the session. We literally got one more back movement, rear delts, a couple of things for biceps. If there is a posing appropriate spot in the changing room, might do that. Just spoke with Zach actually, and I knew this was going to be the case, which is a little bit frustrating. But he wants fasted shots daily because kind of needs to see the fasted look versus the post-workout look. That is a little bit of an issue, as I've just explained to Zach, because I'm up 2.5 hours before the sun comes up. Because France is an hour forward, means that the sun isn't up here until 7:30, and my typical wake-up time is still, 5:30-ish. So, not sure how we're going to navigate that one, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. For the meantime, let's get this done. Oh! Oh! Oh. Right, people, we're literally on the last little bit of biceps. Gonna polish these off nice and quick, nothing crazy, just get a good squeeze, get a good level of fatigue on them. I've already done one set, well, 2 sets on the preach curl, so just gonna use these to like exhaust the biceps basically. But yeah, really good workout so far. Happy with the work that was done actually, considering how we started off. And then we're gonna try and find somewhere to do a little bit of posing so we can at least send Zach something. And then it's off to the supermarket. Okay. Oof. Okay. Okay, so we're all wrapped up. Couldn't find anywhere in the gym, to be honest, that would be appropriate to strip down for some post-workout shots. So that's going to have to wait until we get back, which is probably actually quite a good thing because it means I can I'm going to basically go and do a shop now, which I'll take you guys along for. And I'm going to also pick up some bits for the guys and girls back at the house. And it gives me kind of an opportunity when I come back with the breakfast to be like, look, I'm going to be outside, I'm going to be naked, this is what's going to happen for the rest of the week. I kind of want to get it out in the air and just say like, look, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it. Any weird behaviour, that's why. Just if you see me like in the nude, that's what's going on. But yeah, we'll crack on. We're on a bit of a timeline, more just to get back for other people, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see you at the supermarket. Right, team. Sorry if you're a little bit jumpy and everything. I've got you strapped into the car, but these roads are very rural, so they're a little bit bumpy. Going to keep this little segment short because I'm already aware that this vlog is probably pushing half an hour already. But you guys love hearing me talk, right? Oh, these are small roads. Anyway, I didn't film in the shop. I was planning to. I even had my little gimbal ready to like strap the camera onto a trolley, but I didn't have a euro, so I couldn't get a trolley. And then I had to basically steal some bags prematurely to then pay for them at the end, just to go and get my shopping done. So when we get back to the house, I'll potentially run you through a little bit of a shopping list. But if I get nervous about the people that I'm staying with, which I probably will, I'll just run you through quickly now. So the major pickups were, you know, the meats that I consume: chicken, mince, salmon. The carb sources that I usually lean on, which is potatoes, rice, and oats. We picked up some peanut butter. We picked up some veg, just green veg. Quite different here in France. Like, I was looking for just like fresh broccoli, or even stir-fry veg if possible. Could not find that to save my life. So ended up getting like some runner beans, which I really am not a big fan of, but they'll have to do for the week. What else did we get? We picked up some fruit, some frozen raspberries. Because I'm an absolute saint and I just do it for the love of the people, I actually picked up 4 croissants and 4 pain au chocolats and whacked them in a bag. So I was within, you know, I had the goods in my hand, but I've not consumed any of them. They're going to be for the other housemates. I also got a sourdough. I think it's a sourdough. It looks like a sourdough. It said rustic bread, so I'm thinking that means sourdough in French. It didn't say rustic, it said rustique. I'm trying to think what else we got. I mean, that's pretty much it, to be honest with you. Like, that's the diet at the moment, and the diet isn't really going to change drastically for peak week. We're just going to be having more of the same, which is perfectly fine with me because I actually like the foods that I consume. I always just wish that there was more of them. Anyway, we're heading back to the house now. I need to get like a decent chunk of steps done at some point today. I don't know where that's going to be done. I don't really know what the plan is, what's on the agenda. I'm hoping not too much, to be honest with you, because I'd quite like to get a little bit of coaching stuff done. I'd quite like to get a little bit of this done, actually. But yeah, we'll see. It's going to take about another 20 minutes to get home. I'm going to do my physique shots when we get back. I'll obviously show you guys that because I think that's an important part of this peaking process. I really wish I'd have obviously taken completely fasted shots. They're not going to be 100% fasted, but close to that. Anyway, we'll see you there. Seen, spent the best part of the last 40 minutes trying different check-in spots around the house just to find that the window that is at our bedroom, which is now just stood in delightfully modelling, actually has the most honest lighting for what we need it for. Is it the best lighting? Is it the lighting that we look the best in? No, but it's the lighting that gives Zach all the information that he needs to make adjustments. I'm going to have a shower now because I stink. Haven't washed since yesterday morning, which is gross. Yeah, ew. And trained. I've had 2 meals so far today. No changes from Zach. There's a chance that the peak week may be delayed by a day, which would make making this video really, ideal. But it is what it is. We listen to instructions and we go from there. I'll catch up with you guys a bit later. So, apologising in advance if this whole vlog seems a little bit disjointed. Always tends to be the case, when you're travelling somewhere, it's a little bit like, just said to Izzy, although I've got all my ducks in a row, I feel a little bit disorganised, just because that's bodybuilding, and prep, like, you feel super regimented, super in routine, and then when you get taken out of it, it's a little bit like, what the fuck is going on? But I thought I'd show you guys the pad. So, you got a quick glimpse there, but we're literally in the sticks. There is nothing but French countryside as far as the eye can see. But this is our very rustic home. Up to about that door, just on the middle of the screen now, is ours. And then I think that next bit is like the people that own this property. But yeah, it's pretty sick. I'll show you guys like a little bit around. I will definitely do like a room tour and an inside tour at some point. I just don't want to do that right now because there's still people in there and like they don't know me that well. They've seen me in my pants, so they know me pretty well. But yeah, out the back here, look at this, like this is crazy. Just a pool smack bang in the middle of like a field, and the backdrop is just very overcast, which is a slight concern. But yeah, this is the vibe. This is the vibe, and it's a vibe that I can very much so get down with. I'm very fortunate in the sense that for this wedding, I am obviously here, only really here because Izzy's here, and it's one of Izzy's best mates, a childhood friend. But I'm very happy to be here. All these people seem absolutely wonderful. Hopefully, if I manage to like kind of chat them into it, they might even feature in the vlog, which would be fun. But yeah, everyone's been super supportive so far of like the nudity, which is fantastic. It kind of eases my mind a bit. But as I said, turns out the best lighting's in our bedroom anyway, so no freebies for them. One other exciting revelation this morning, so I stocked up on some more Perform before coming out here because I knew I'd need a decent amount, and I went back to Jammy Dodger, and lads, Jammy Dodger Perform with oats and raspberries and a bit of peanut butter, holy shit, like that might be my favourite combination. It's between that and Naughty Boy carrot cake, but like wow, it's very, very good. Would highly recommend. As I say, I'm hoping this all comes together nicely and in like a coherent way. Ian Talbot Balfe, if you're watching, mate, I said I'd get this out for you tonight, and I'm going to do my best to make that happen. Bring it on, baby. He's incredibly mangy. As you guys can see, Izzy has made a friend. Very sweet little pooch. Hey, hey, yeah, you're lovely, aren't you? These lovely people have let us come and look at their antique store, which, they're having lunch at the moment and they've been kind enough to let us in. So we'll have a little gander around. Got to keep our eyes on Izzy in here because she'll end up decorating our entire front room or something. But yeah, lots of stuff in the middle of France, in the middle of nowhere. It's even more. Whoa. So, left everyone behind in the antique store, which I will have just shown you a little clip of. I like places like that, but me and Izzy were actually 3 kilos over on our allocated suitcase weight. So if anything, we need to be losing stuff whilst we're here. not gaining it. So they can have a peruse, but I'm actually going to be walking back to the house right now just because I've actually got a consultation call for a potential new client, very exciting new client actually as well. Looking forward to obviously going through that. So I'm going to sit and do that, maybe do a few other coaching bits, but I'm actually saving, I guess, the bulk of my work this week for tomorrow, as I've just had a little look whilst we've been walking up here at whether I chose the closest gym or not. And obviously, given what happened this morning just with that guy, I know I'm being a bit dramatic, but if I'm going to be in France and I'm going to get 3 sessions in, I feel like that gym wasn't quite, you know, you make the atmosphere, you make the whatever, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for like a leg session. Was fine for pull, would be fine for push, but in terms of lower body equipment, it was very minimal. They had, you know, 2 forms of leg press, both matrix, so both not ideal. I don't know if we'll find anything better in another gym, but we might as well try. And there's actually a gym that is slightly closer. We're talking 5 minutes. It's another basic fit, so we've already got our pass lined up to use for it. So no worries there, it's not going to cost us any more money. And there's also a very nice looking coffee shop in the town. And you guys know me, you know that I'm a coffee snob. I'm dying actually for a nice coffee, because all we've got at the house is instant, which I'm about to go and have one when I get back. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry, on Saturday. What am I on about? I say tomorrow. No, I'm right. That is what we'll do tomorrow, because it's a rest day. So we'll head over to that town and literally just go and check out the coffee shop and do some work pretty much. In terms of the plan for the rest of today, had to switch arms because my arm was getting tired. Clearly hit rear delts pretty aggressively this morning. In terms of the plan for the rest of the day, and actually something I've not mentioned yet, we have been given the peaking protocol for day 1, the WMBF protocol, and it's juicy, boys and girls. It's an extra, you know, nearly 1,000 calories today, mostly coming in the form of rice, some potatoes, and a little bit of dark chocolate, which I'm gonna have to go and source somehow, some way. I'm incredibly excited to get some carbs into this rig, because if the way that we're looking right now is anything to go off, yeah, filling up with carbs, this is going to be exciting. And my only intention is ever to bring a competitive look to stage, and I feel like we're going to secure that. Confidently feel like we're going to secure that. But yeah, we're going to head back, crack on with the consultation call, and then make meals 1 and potentially 2. I don't think we've got access to a microwave. Have to double check that, so it could be a case of some cold chicken and rice meals later. But that's nothing that we can't handle. We don't mind that one little bit. Look at this. Crazy, right? This is what I mean, like, we are really in rural France. We are not messing about. Good place to get some steps in though. Cannot complain. The agenda for the week is just relax, you know, keep cortisol as low as possible, get high quality sessions in, get a load of food in, have some good times, and yeah, we'll be completely sweet. Catch up with you guys probably, I don't know. As I say, I'm hoping these vlogs don't come across as disjointed. I've not even started editing this one together yet, but maybe this evening, maybe earlier, we'll see. Cool, man. Me and Izzy are off on a little adventure. We've been back, chilled out a little bit.
Dragging me places.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. We
Have you showed the house?
yeah, briefly, but I've not shown the inside because it's like I don't want to get in people's faces yet. I will do a full house tour tomorrow probably. But yeah, this is the house in better lighting than it was before.
You need to show at the front with the pool.
I've shown that. I've shown that.
But that's our room.
I've shown all that. I just need to show the inside. But we're going to head to town, which is like half an hour away. You're on the wrong side.
Do that.
Yeah, to get some coffee and things like that. Because we're tired and it's nice to get some alone time. It's our holiday, you got to remember, at the end of the day. Although it is a wedding too, it is our holiday. So we'll catch up with you. Oh, just get in the whip, the little cube car. We'll catch up with you when we get to the coffee shop. Hopefully it's good. It looks good online. I'm pretty good at picking that kind of stuff out usually, aren't I?
Hopefully it's nice, yeah.
Hopefully it's nice. We will see you there. So I believe we're in a town called Périgueux. Périgueux? Périgueux.
Yeah, or Pergeroux.
Pergeroux. Thank you. We have just parked up. Not 100% sure if we've actually parked up properly, but we've got a ticket. So we'll deal with that later on. And we're heading over to a coffee shop that I saw earlier that looks really quite nice.
So we haven't had a proper coffee today.
We haven't, and we're in rural. We have just driven, really predominantly we've driven 40 minutes for a coffee, which people can view however they like. Very pretty. This is a much more built up area, so we're going to have, you know, the home comfort that is coffee. Also do our own little separate little shop run for little bits that we might need, and maybe just check out this little town for not too long, because we do need to be back. I've got to put this vlog together.
We do need to be back by like 5:30.
Yeah, so we haven't got too long, but we'll show you guys the coffee place when we reach it. So this is where we're going to be stopping for our little coffee break. Massive cathedral. Not sure, I'm guessing maybe that's Périgueux Cathedral. But this is the little coffee shop that I have found us. I do pretty well with these kind of things, so pretty happy with this. So I think on potentially tomorrow, like if I can be bothered to do this drive again, I'll come back here because it's very chilled out vibes, the kind of thing that I thoroughly enjoy. Yeah, just a nice, cozy, quiet little coffee shop I could see myself working from. Izzy is outside, chilling out there. I'm about to go and join her. Hopefully, the coffee matches the vibe. Usually with these kind of places, it does.
It's such a big, tiny cookie.
Coffee has arrived, the moment of truth. We've waited, we've driven many miles for this moment. Smells good.
Oh yeah.
Good enough. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's not brother starving.
Yeah, it's a proper coffee.
But it's a proper coffee, and that's what's most important. Has that hit the spot for you, madam?
Yes, it's reviving me slowly.
And why do you need to be revived? Tell the people why you need to be revived.
Yes, judge me, people. I've had a squished pain au chocolat this morning with a very mediocre instant coffee, and then I've had a nectarine, and then like about this much of French bread, like this much brie on it, and it's now nearly 4:30. So
How's your peak going?
Peak's going well.
Peak's
I'm
going
gonna
well.
reintroduce some carbs tonight
Yeah.
with a big fat pizza.
Gonna be dominant on the stage in 10 days time. I feel fantastic because I've had 100 grams of rice in my chicken and veg meal today. I've got another one waiting for me back home, and I've got 300 grams of potatoes to look forward to. I'm ecstatic.
Lovely.
I am very excited for all of that. We're going to finish off these coffees. It's a fleeting visit, I'm afraid. Feels like a long way to drive for a coffee, but we've kind of realised we've not actually got that much time to get back, get ready, and kind of get on to... Everyone's going out for pizza tonight, and I will be joining them. And
Not for the pizza.
not for the pizza, just for the vibes. Yeah, lots to look forward to. Okay, we are back at the house. I've had my 4th meal of the day. Big old portion of rice, which is fantastic. Izzy's just in the other room getting ready. Say hello, Izzy.
Hello.
We're going to a pizza restaurant tonight. I will not be eating any of said pizza. I'm going to do some meal prep actually quickly, just so I've got stuff handy if I need it. And that's going to do for today's vlog. So this was peak week day 1, technically peak week and a bit. 2,700 odd calories in a nice pool session and good French vibes. I will see you all tomorrow. Remember, if you did actually enjoy this video, give it a like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We're trying to hit that 500,000 subscribers. Wow, 500 subscribers by the end of the year. Let's make it happen. I will see you in tomorrow's vlog. Peace.